All right, we need to have a serious talk about focus, but probably not in the way you're used to. What if I told you that your struggle to concentrate has nothing to do with being lazy? That it's not a flaw in your character? What if the whole way you've been thinking about it is wrong? This right here, this is the central idea. Let it sink in. It's not about a personal failing. It's about a skill you were never taught. And the great news, any skill can be learned. So first things first, let's really dig into the problem. That frustrating, hair-pulling feeling of just trying to get started on something important. Does this little timeline look painfully familiar? You sit down at your desk, you're ready to go, you've got the best intentions. 5 minutes in, you're just checking your phone for a second. 10 minutes later, you're 20 tabs deep into some random Wikipedia rabbit hole. Before you know it, half an hour has vanished, and that important task? Yeah, you haven't even touched it. And it feels awful, right? Like you failed. But here is the absolute truth. The problem isn't you. It's that you're asking your brain to do something it hasn't been trained for. It's like trying to go to the gym and lift 300 pounds on your first day without ever having trained your muscles. You wouldn't call yourself a failure then. You just say you need to train. It's the exact same thing with your mind. And that gets us to this huge misunderstanding that trips everybody up. We think focusing is all about willpower, about gritting our teeth and just avoiding all the shiny distractions. But that's a battle you're pretty much always going to lose. The truth is, focus is a skill. It's a training process. It is a muscle that you can and you must build over time. Okay, so this leads us to a really important idea called your distraction threshold. We have to understand what each of these little interruptions is actually costing us, because trust me, it's way, way more than you think. So get this, research shows that a huge chunk of our workday, sometimes as much as 60%, isn't even spent working. It's spent trying to get back into the zone after we've been distracted. Think about that. If it takes you, say, 20 minutes to get back on track after a notification, you're not really working for hours at a time. You're just spending most of your day hitting the reset button over and over and over again. So this brings us to that key concept, the distraction threshold. The best way to picture it is like a tipping point. Focus isn't just on or off. It's actually a constant battle happening in your brain between getting into that deep work state, that flow, and all the things trying to pull you out of it. And this is that battle. It's like a tug of war. On one side, you have the upward pull of every possible distraction, your phone buzzing, people talking, even your own worries and anxieties. And on the other side, you have the downward pull, which is your trained, practiced ability to stay on task. At any given moment, one of these forces is stronger, and whichever one is stronger wins. Okay, so we've laid out the problem, we understand the science behind it. Now for the good part. Let's talk about the actual workout plan. How do we build that muscle and strengthen that downward pull? Let's just call it what it is, your focus muscle. Right now, if it's weak, any little thought or sound can just yank you right out of your work. But when it's strong, you can drop into that state of flow fast and you can stay there. And the problem really is so simple. Most of us are just walking around with a focus muscle we've never, ever taken to the gym. Now, this is a really, really crucial mindset shift, so listen up. The goal here is not to have a perfectly clear, empty mind. That's impossible. Our brains are thought machines. The real skill, the thing we're actually training, is how quickly and gently we can notice that our mind has wandered and then just pull it back. That's it. So what does one rep of this exercise actually look like? It is so simple. Step 1, you sit, you close your eyes, and you put your attention on the feeling of your breath. Step 2, your mind is going to wander. It's guaranteed. That's the pull away. Now, here's the magic. Step 3 is the moment you notice, without any judgment, without getting mad at yourself, and you just gently guide your focus back to your breath. That's step 4. You've just done 1 rep. Every single time you do that, you are literally making the focus part of your brain stronger. And just like any other workout, we can use the FITT principles to make it effective. For frequency, you want to do this daily. Consistency is everything. For intensity, don't try to find a perfectly silent room. The point is to train your focus in a normal, distracting environment. And for time, that's the best part. You only need 10 to 15 minutes a day to get started. But, and I gotta be real with you here, this isn't an overnight fix. You are literally rewiring your brain. So be patient. Give it a solid 1 to 2 months of doing this every day, and I promise you will feel a major, noticeable difference in your ability to concentrate. All right, let's talk about the number one thing that makes people quit. It's a total misunderstanding of what it's supposed to feel like when you're doing it right. Please read this and then read it again. This is the whole ball game. If you sit down for your 10 minutes and you feel like your mind wandered 100 times, you didn't fail. You succeeded. You just did 100 reps. Feeling distracted is the work. Every time you notice you're distracted and you pull yourself back, that's a win. The struggle is the training. So, really, when you boil it all down, what we're talking about here is a choice. This isn't just some little productivity tip. It's a fundamental decision about how you want to live your life. And there are really only two paths you can take. Path A is you put in the work. You train maybe for a few months, and yeah, it might feel a little frustrating at first, but the payoff is years, even a lifetime of having more control over your own mind. Path B is the default. You just don't train, and you continue to pay the price with a low-grade, constant struggle against distraction for the rest of your life. It's a simple question, but a really profound one. The power to change this isn't out there in some app or some trick. It's right here in a choice you can make right now to start building your focus muscle one little pullback rep at a time. So, which path are you going to choose?